Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Let's take a look at what's going on today. Very complex situation here. We have something called an inverted trough, which is going to really throw a pretty interesting facet into the whole forecast in this circle area here. And we have very high ratio snow. So remember, these totals aren't coming from much liquid. So if I have 6 to 12 inches, I'm only looking at maybe, it could be less than a half an inch of liquid to get to some of these totals. That's my point. Up here, I think it's going to be the epicenter up in Maine, 12 to 20 inches of wind-blown powder just inside of eastern Maine, 10 to 16, coming down maybe to Boston. We'll have to see how much precipitation ends up falling here. Some models are creating sort of a snow hole, but I think that the storm wraps back around and gives people snow here to get to the 6 to 12. 3 to 6 out here now. I was thinking a little less than this all week, but again, it's hard to really predict this inverted trough. So I have 3 to 6 to leave room for this inverted trough. And if this thing really does set up as some models indicate, and I'll show what that looks like in a minute, then yes, 6 inches, even 8 inches are possible for areas in this circle. So keep that in mind. Let's go right to the model guidance here. We'll use the GFS for now. You can see by the time we get to 7 o'clock tonight, the low pressure center is trying to get itself organized over the area. And by the time we get to early tomorrow morning, you can see the low sitting just over Long Island, and it's precipitating in all areas of blue. Now, by the time we get out to this is a good let's say here early Sunday morning. See this precipitation hanging back here, and you see these see the isobars hanging back. This is showing you the possible development of an inverted trough, and again, it could be somewhere in New York City, Connecticut, and that's where you could definitely see some enhanced totals. But in any event, by the time this thing bombs out, I think Maine's going to get clobbered with this storm. Again, the models, some models are east, some models are west. But up here is the region to be in this little facet here. Otherwise, out here, like I said, a general 6 to 12 inch snowfall, 3 to 6 down here, 2 to 4 in central New Jersey. New York City could be as low as 4, could be as high as 8. So let's see how this sets up. Here's the simulated radar real quick. You can see it's snowing in some areas now. Here's this initial snow area of snow that's coming through. And then by the time we get later tonight, say a couple hours before midnight, you can see the storm starts to develop. And again, even this model is trying to show you there's some snow that can be hanging back here as part of that inverted trough. So we'll be watching that. We'll see how far the snow shield gets out here to western New Jersey to see if they do end up getting at least 3 inches. I think you'll get at least 3 inches out there. So that's why I have you 3 to 6. A 6, though, is more meant for towards the city. And let's see, this goes out to about 3 o'clock in the morning. You can see the storm really starts to crank up and starts to hit these areas with the 6 to 12. And if I was to if I was to move along further here, you would see it starts to bomb out over Maine. So we'll keep a track on this thing. We'll see what happens. Just to show you, this is another model. Let's look at the Canadian model real quick. So the Canadian model comes in again. It's it looks a little scattered, but it's not. It hits Maine and Massachusetts and all these areas with heavy snow, and it tries to hang back. See this little feature here? So the Canadian saying the inverted trough is hanging back a little further south. So it's interesting. So somebody either in central coastal Jersey up to the city might get lucky with the storm tonight. Very busy today. I had to go to work today. Now I have to go out to dinner for Valentine's Day. So I haven't had the time. I really wanted to focus on this. But again, not a significant snowfall for New Jersey. The significant snowfalls to the northeast, but I have to acknowledge 3 to 6 inches. Still going to be watching later in the week, guys. Don't forget about that. My little pet project here of a potential storm on Wednesday. So if I go here, you can see the GFS is still trying to show that low pressure system developing. I think we got a good shot here on Wednesday. I'll keep saying that. So let's see how I end up with that. Thanks for checking in. Maybe a few tweets later.